What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life, and as you see, I got the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra on deck. Now, when it comes to a device that I might fanboy out about or just really fall in love with, it will be this type of device. This is my profile. I like Samsung devices. I've always loved the Note, was my favorite device, and then basically the Note turned into the Ultra. So this is definitely something up my alley, and there's a lot to this device that's good. But this device is honestly not the best deal in tech, and it's not perfect. So let's get into it. Now guys, I just put out a review about this device, and there's a lot good about this device that I shared in the review, but I feel like I just need to double down on some of the things about this device you should know before buying this device. First of all, this device is not the best deal in tech. A lot of what I consider the biggest thing about a device is the processor, because the processor basically determines how much you can do on the device, how good the device runs, and things of that nature. The combination of the processor and the software. But the processor is really the heart, the engine of the device when it comes to performance and things of that nature. One of the most important pieces of a smartphone to me. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that's in this device is not exclusive to this device. This great processor that provides good performance, battery life, and thermals, that processor is also in the OnePlus 12, which is a $799 phone. That's a $500 difference right there, and you got a phone that's just as powerful as this device. That also have things like faster charging and faster wireless charging. This device do have a lot of bells and whistles, but you gotta realize what bells and whistles are you actually looking for and do you actually need, because when it comes to value, devices like the OnePlus 12 actually offer a lot more value in tech per dollar. That's why I was so big on the Pixel 7a, guys, because it offered a lot of tech per dollar. This offers some bells and whistles, but for the amount of money you spend, that everything that's there should be there. This is not a deal. Also, with the size of this device, even me having big hands, it has a great build, a great look, a great aesthetic. But to hold it in your hand, guys, it's a huge device and it's a heavy device. One thing about that titanium, it did not help this device lose weight. This device outweighs the iPhone 15 Pro Max at this point. When the iPhone got titanium, it really got some serious weight reduction. This device is big in my hand. I have very big hands, so I know the average person will struggle with this device in their hand, and this device could fatigue your hand. It's devices that have nice big displays, but their overall footprint in your hand doesn't seem that big. When you hold the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, you're gonna realize that this is a huge device and is a heavy device constantly. When it comes to spending $1,300 on a device like this, you spending money on an S Pen, which is the stylus that's native to the device. You spending money on telephoto lenses that help you get space zoom, which is 100 times zoom. But these are very niche features. Like, it's some people that buy this device and never use the S Pen. If you bought this device and never used the S Pen, you basically kind of threw money away. Then if you bought this device and never stood outside and tried to take pictures of the moon, again, you throwing money away. I just want people to realize how much of a niche device this is, even though it's a slab of glass device. I feel like a lot more people should look at the S24 and the S24 Plus, because the S24 Plus is really the sweet spot, because now it has a QHD display. So actually the PPI, or the pixels per inch, on the Samsung S24 Plus is higher than the S24 Ultra, because they had the same resolution, but the Samsung S24 Plus has a smaller display. So that means that it's gonna look even better than a display on the S24 Ultra. Now, this is one of the most powerful camera systems in Android when it comes to front-facing camera, rear cameras, and just a different amount of things that you can do with the camera. But when I point and shoot with this device, I end up making adjustments to my photos, because one thing this device does, when you point and shoot pictures, it overexposes the pictures. Now, you could take a Pixel 7a, point and shoot, and just look at whatever picture that you get out of that device, and it's gonna be an amazing picture. It's gonna outshoot the Samsung S24 Ultra just because of post-processing. It's little things like that that are the reason I'm so big on tech per dollar and really knowing what you want out of a device. Because the difference between a Pixel 7a, which is about a $400 device, and this device is $900. And it's crazy that the Pixel 7a is probably a better point and shoot. Now, this is a Samsung night complaint right here, guys. I love what they did with the display. The anti-glare is amazing. I love how that look. This display looks great in so many different situations. It's just a very consistent display. Just from somebody that uses Samsung devices all the time perspective, they took away the option of being able to dial up the saturation on the display. I got really used to that over the years. That's one thing that I loved about the Samsung displays. If you look at all my other Samsung devices, the saturation is really turned up. So we're at the point where I've heard they're gonna fix that, and then we're at the point where I've heard that this is just how the display is gonna be. And I really hope they fix that, because a lot of people that are coming from other devices to Samsung devices don't have complaints, but I've got used to the saturation. I like dialing the saturation up on my display personally. Every other Samsung device I have right now, the display is punched in for pure saturation, and I want to be able to do that with this device. I just want to double down on this device being one of the most premium ultra flagship devices that's out, but it's nowhere near the best value out, and it's not perfect. So you really need to know what you want and what you're looking for when you're going out here to buy these smartphones and things of that nature. Because if you're not looking for much, or you don't need much from a smartphone, you can save a lot of money. When somebody steps to these type of smartphones, I advise them to know what they want and be ready to use the features so they get the real bang for the buck. But that's just me being transparent. It's your boy BG Tech Life. I'm out. Peace.